I've been using Lion Pair Acne Cream for years, and honestly, I'm not looking to replace it. But after buying 2 similar creams in Japan, I got curious. What else is out there? Hey, it's ECAT. Think electronic cat. Yeah. Welcome to my edit by ECAT. So we're going to compare 2 types of acne treatments. The Lion Pair category and the Sulfur category, because I only recently started dabbling in sulfur, and it's an ingredient that is very interesting to me. And one more thing, I have hormonal acne. These treatments are used in a supportive function, in addition to treatments prescribed by my dermatologist. Okay, I think we should start with the pair, the famous Lion Pair Acne Cream. This is a Japanese over-the-counter acne medication. It is available to us globally, thank God. You can pretty much find it in any pharmacy all over Japan. It's pretty popular. A lot of people know about it. It is a unique acne treatment, at least to us in the West. We're so used to strong actives, strong salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, different tretinoin, whatever it is, right? So we treat acne quite aggressively. This is a very gentle treatment, not an overall acne treatment, but only for a particular stage of acne. I call it the angry-pimple stage, when you have these tender, large, quite angry pimples. And what it does, it basically calms the pimple down. It tells it to chill out. It is super gentle, extremely gentle. In fact, I think depending on your expectations, some people might say that it's not doing anything. It has 2 main ingredients. The topical ibuprofen calms the inflammation, and the other ingredient stops the bacteria from making things worse. The main goal of this treatment is to calm everything down. So it usually works quite well overnight when you want to get the swelling down, essentially, that angry, painful swelling. This is a very lightweight and gentle, creamy formula. You don't really feel it on your skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. There is a bunch of advice on the internet on how to use it, but I just use it however it fits into my routine. Sometimes I would apply it first, and sometimes I forget and I put it on last before my moisturizer. So after prepping my skin and doing my serum stage, and then I just put this as a thin layer. The great thing about it is that you can spread it really, really thin. So it's almost this breathable, invisible layer. Or you can dab a big fat blob onto your pimple just so you cover it and you let it come down that way. So whichever method I think you prefer, just go with that. It's designed to do that one particular thing. And hence why it's so popular. I think a lot of people gravitate towards it because it's so invisible and gentle. You can apply makeup over it, or you can apply it over makeup, whichever works. So as I said, I've been using this guy for absolute years, and it is my go-to. I go through tubes and tubes of it, and I'm not planning to stop. But while I was in Japan, I got my hands on the 2 equivalents. And the first one is Shiseido IHADA Acne Cream. So this is pretty close to the Lion Pair. It's geared towards more sensitive skin. I feel like the texture is somewhat lighter, but on certain days, I will probably not see any difference between this and the Lion Pair. It just felt a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more lightweight to me. I wouldn't even say gel type, but it melted a little bit faster and felt a little bit more hydrating. The ingredients are pretty much on par. The 2 main ingredients are the same. I was using this cream interchangeably with the lion pear because the packaging is quite similar. Even the actual tube is this thin metal tube and the tops of the cream is the same. The whole thing is the same. It would be what you would call a dupe, I guess. I can see lion pear being super popular worldwide and in Japan. And here rocks up IHADA with the sensitive version for people who wanted something a little bit more lightweight and a little bit more sensitive, skin friendly. Now, there's nothing that jumped out at me to say that lion pear is not sensitive, skin friendly. My skin is not so sensitive, so tell me if you had any problems. Just like the lion pear, they come in the tubes of 14 and 24 grams. And I also appreciate the color of the tube. Something about it just makes me like it more. And the third cream I have also has the same ingredients. So like the lion pear, like the IHADA, it is used on the angry writing pimple. And it's Acneige medical cream. Now, the packaging is already different. It's purely plastic. And the other thing that made me appreciate it is it's got this pointy plastic nozzle, which the others don't have. I think there's a reason for that. And the reason is the cream itself is much, much thicker. It feels much more coating and protective. You feel a little bit more body to it whenever you work it in. But on some days, it actually felt the same to me. So to me, it didn't really matter whether the cream was a little bit thicker compared to the other ones. To be honest, all three were interchangeable for me. Now, if I was going to Japan again, I would probably stock up on IHADA over Acneige, just because I prefer that light, hydrating feel. However, that is if I was going to Japan. For the rest of us, we still have the lion pear, which wins hands down in terms of being affordable and being accessible. All three are over-the-counter acne treatment in Japan. And the curious thing that you will notice is that the packaging will have an expiration date. Unlike Japanese skincare, that's how you spot the difference. Now let's move on to our sulfur category. Sulfur targets a completely different stage of acne. I think the best way to explain it is when your pimple is brewing, it's kind of there and it has the potential to get bigger. And this is where you go in with sulfur. Got these oil mopping, dead skin cells shaking, and some antibacterial properties. It's an interesting, well-rounded ingredient. The first spot treatment that I have here is a quasi-drug in Japan. So it's kind of a skincare, but it has some functional ingredients. And in this case, it's sulfur. And it's by a brand called Orbis. They recently released an acne-focused line, and this spot treatment is part of it. It's called the Clearful Acne Spots. It's part of Clearful series. You will notice all of it has this blue packaging. And what's interesting about this spot treatment, I think, is the texture. It was so different to me that I instantly fell in love. It's so different to anything I've tried before. It comes out of the tube looking like a gel, but once it hits your skin, it basically disappears. It turns into water and then leaves nothing behind. It's kind of going poof and it's gone. You won't feel it afterwards. It is an amazing treatment to put on first before the rest of your skincare routine. And I feel like it's a perfect treatment to put in the morning. You know, when you wake up and you're like, oof, I've got this pesky thing coming up. It's not really fully formed and I want to make sure that I nip it in the bud and do something about it. This is where this treatment comes in, because you apply it and it pretty much then leaves your skin dry and you're good to go with the rest of your skincare routine. One caveat though, it is alcohol based. So whenever it comes out, you do have a very strong whiff of alcohol. And I think it's part of the formula. This is what makes it so light and so undetectable after you apply it. It's a necessary evil, but I didn't feel like it was drying out my skin or anything. It literally disappeared without a trace. So following up with hydrating serums and other hydrating ingredients in the morning, it was fine. It's now my favorite spot treatment for the morning specifically. Don't get me wrong, I can still use the lion pear, but the lion pear is kind of tackling a different stage for me. I reckon this one has a place in my routine. This one has some other great cosmetic ingredients, but I think the star of the show is the sulfur. We don't know the percentage or the strength of sulfur, but you know what? I don't mind it. I think the texture and the use and the concoction of ingredients is so unique. It's still gentle. It is usable every day, and it kind of suits my skincare routine so well. So this spot treatment then prompted me to scour the internet for other sulfur acne treatments. And what I landed on was the Acnes Acne Treatment Cream. This is another over-the-counter acne cream in Japan, but it sits in a whole different category of its own. It has 3% of sulfur, and the other ingredient that they highlight is resorcinol. So working in tandem of clearing the debris and mopping up the oil to make sure that your acne does not develop further. This is what you would call your old school acne treatment. It is pasty. It is thick, pasty, and occlusive. And to top it all off, it has this old school medicinal scent. I'm not sure what it is, but you kind of smell it. It's not sulfur. It's whatever they're trying to mask the sulfur with, maybe. Oh, just squeeze it out too much. If you smell it, you would probably go, oh yeah, this is an acne medication. I know, generalizing here, but you probably get the gist. I found this particular treatment absolutely suffocating. I just kind of felt it didn't suit my skin and made things worse. It's supposed to be coating and occlusive, I reckon, but to me, it felt heavy, suffocating. Whenever I put this on at night, I could get a whiff of that medicinal scent. It wasn't an enjoyable experience. The way it felt on my skin was an absolute no-go. So after trying for a few nights, I was like, it's probably not worth it. It's not worth it for me to persevere and struggle. So not my best friend currently, but it was worth a try. And after I've tried this particular cream, I kind of cast my net wider beyond the Japanese treatments and landed on a Korean somewhat equivalent. It has 3% of sulfur. It is by Wishtrend. Basically, it just existed under my nose, but I never paid attention to it because I didn't have an interest in sulfur. But now I do, and I found this, and I already finished one tube. It is a 30-gram tube. And what's interesting about it is I cannot really detect a scent, neither fragrance or sulfur that much. It is super gentle, extremely lightweight, such a pleasure to use. A complete opposite from the Acnes cream because you barely feel it. It's like your standard gel moisturizer and it feels beautiful. Interesting thing is they advise you to apply this as the last step of your skincare routine. So I use it like a sleeping mask. Imagine if I use Orbis in the morning, first thing that hits my skin, then at night, if I have some brewing acne, I use this as a sleeping mask. I don't really use it all over my face, but it works beautifully if I use it around my jawline. I literally apply a really, really thin layer and it's so good. Again, it fits so well in my skincare routine. I don't really have to struggle to remember whether I should apply something in a particular order because I know this goes last and the other one goes first and that's it. And the textures were made for it. That's what's so beautiful about it. No scent, lightweight gel, quite hydrating and almost undetectable textures. So this was a very, very pleasant surprise. I know it's not Japanese, but I felt like it was good to compare the 3% sulfur with another 3% sulfur. So to sum up, I feel like I discovered some gems. I now have 2 other acne treatments that target the up and coming acne, and I can stop it from developing further. One for the morning and one for the evening. And then for any angry moments, I'm just going to use the Lion Pair. It is the most accessible, the most affordable. I can't really get my hands on IHADA or Acneige. However, if you are going to Japan, don't sleep on it. If you're stocking up, it's worth looking at the alternatives. The packaging that looks like the Lion Pair is the thicker cream. And the pretty lady is the IHADA. Are you a big fan of Lion Pair, just like me? And would you be interested in trying something else? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. And as always, if you love skincare that feels fun, with lots of steps and 0 regrets, then hit subscribe and come back and hang out with me again. But don't go just yet. If you still got some time, I hope you stay and watch this next video. I'll see you again soon.